So today we'll be talking about something interesting, and in the past 3 years, the number of bungalow projects, particularly around the urban areas, is changing, and yet there is a high demand for it. People are clamoring that I need buildings that stand alone. I need buildings that have my compound. I need building that I don't have to climb staircase. But in this episode of Meet the Property Guy, we'll be discussing about why people or why developers are no longer building bungalows. And in case you are coming across the video like this for the first time, this Meet the Property Guy Property channel, and this will discuss everything real estate for first timers, for property investors, avid investors, for newbie investors, for real estate enthusiasts, or people that are not really into the real estate market, but they just want to understand what's happening there. What's the market saying? How is the market performing? This is your go-to channel. We discuss about everything here: the risk, the return, the profit, the scam, the opportunities, the challenges, the problems, everything you really need to know about the property market, the real estate market, and how to go into the market, how to go into the real estate space, and probably how to exit also. So after watching this particular educative guide, I will also suggest you go through our playlist. Have a playlist on shortlets, Lagos shortlets. Have a playlist on Ekpe, Ibejuleki. Have a playlist on Ikeja. Have a playlist on real estate investors, real estate investor series. Have a playlist on land banking. Have a playlist on title documents. Particularly if you are just new to the Nigerian real estate ecosystem, I want to understand how documentation works here. So you can go through our playlist on title documents. So let's go straight into the topic now. Why are developers no longer building bungalows? So before I start discussing about why developers are no longer building bungalows, if this is your first time or second time or fifth time on our channel, this is us once again inviting you to subscribe to our channel. I'll be so glad, I'll be so excited if you can also finally be part of our subscribers, so that as we are dropping these videos, you get notified. And the larger our subscriber base, also, like, the more YouTube is also going to show our content to more people. And if you really want to encourage what we do and encourage us to also do more, then one of the ways that you can encourage us is also to subscribe. And as is also shown on the screen, turn on the notification button. All right. So, despite the huge demand and the large preference of a lot of home buyers, let me use the word, let me say investors, because a lot of people that are buying bungalows, around 70-60% of the time, they want to buy to stay, or they want to buy for someone that is going to stay there. Either is their parents, their aunts, their relative, and they feel like, oh, I don't want a duplex for my mom, I don't want a duplex for my dad. I want a bungalow because they don't have to. They're already above 60, above 50. I don't want them to be climbing staircase. Now, a lot of home buyers are clamoring for bungalows. But if you go to most of the urban areas in Lagos, you go to Ikeja, you go to Surulere, you go to Yaba, you go to Legi Phase 1, you go to Ikoyi, you go to Victoria Island, you are not going to see bungalows. And for some of these locations where we have existing bungalows, those bungalows are going into extinction rapidly, which means that people are demolishing these bungalows to go higher up very, very fast. And the reason, primarily, the first reason is land prices. Land prices in Lagos right now is pretty very high. And if I'm already buying a land at 100 million, or I'm buying a building, an old building, for like maybe 250 million, then definitely I will not want to do a single family home there. I want to do multiple family homes so that I can maximize this capital I've put on the land. And sometimes also I get people telling me or asking me, Arabi, do you have a land in Chevron? I want to build to stay. Do you have a land in Ikate? Do you have a land around Lekki Phase 1? A lot of these locations are currently not a home buyer's market. They are a developer's market. Because if you want to build a house for your personal stay and you're already spending 350 million, 300 million just on land, then now imagine what you are going to spend on the actual construction. So for a lot of home buyers, or for a lot of people that want to buy or build a property there to stay, it really doesn't make any sense. So they would rather just want to buy a like ready building at almost that price for land, or they go further, basically. So land prices is a very big reason or a big factor why people are dishing bungalows for multifamily apartments and terraces, or townhouses. Let's use that word. Now, the second reason why bungalows are getting scarce and developers are no longer really building bungalows is scarcity of land. Scarcity of land. Now, if I want to build a bungalow right now, probably I'll be building on 250 square meter to 300 square meter. So 250 to 300 square meter per family or per unit. So one family, just one family can be on 250 square meter, or just one family can be on 300 square meter. Whereas if I'm doing an apartment on a 1,000 square meter, on a 1,000 square meter apartment, I can have 12 units. So which means that I can have 12 families. Now, if I divide this based on 250 square meter per bungalow, if I'm building bungalows on 1,000 square meter, I can only have 3 to 4, which means I can only have 3 to 4 families. But if it's apartments, I can have 12, which means that I can do times 3 of whatever I can do for a bungalow if I'm doing apartments, in terms of units and in terms of families. Now, for Lagos particularly, where we have a fast rising population, we have a huge housing deficit, it no longer make economic sense to build bungalows, for developers to build bungalows. And it also no longer make economic sense for even the Lagos state government to approve bungalows, because they want to also reduce the housing deficit. The Lagos state government are also receiving a lot of criticism about the housing shortages, the housing prices, the high cost of rent, and the high cost of living in Lagos. So they also want to find a way that they can partner, and they can also influence reducing that housing deficit and reducing that housing cost. So they will rather approve a 12-unit building, or a 12-unit family apartment on a 1,000 square meter than approve a single family home on 250 square meter. Because land is scarce, land is limited, particularly in places like Lagos. Now, the third reason is urbanization. Urbanization, basically, this means that a lot of the locations before where people are not interested in, where people are not really moving to, migrating to, or people are migrating away from, people are now migrating to there. Very good example is Mowe. As at 2002, 2004, people are leaving Mowe to come to Lagos. You know, if you are living in Mowe, you are looking for a cousin, a friend, a relative that is staying in Lagos that you can come and scot with, so that you too can tap into the opportunities in Lagos. But now people are leaving Lagos to migrate to Mowe, to either build a house in Mowe or rent a house in Mowe. And the same thing with places like Eleko, places like Ekpe, places like Lakwe, places like Awoyaya. As at 2004, 2006, 2008, people leave those locations to come to Aja, to come to Badori, to come to Orchid, because that's when they can be closer to job opportunities. But now people are leaving Orchid, people are leaving Aja to move to Awoyaya, to move to Lakwe, to move to Eleko, as they are buying houses there, they are building houses there, they are opening businesses there, they are opening schools there. So this urbanization is also changing that fact. So before, as at 2002, 2008, 2010, 2014, it makes sense for people to go to Mowe and go and do 100 units of bungalows. But now, there is already that demand and that immigration into Mowe now. So someone might look at it that instead of me to do bungalows, let me just do terrace duplexes, or let me just do apartments here, because there's already a boom in the population. The same thing with Eleko right now. We are also seeing the same thing, that more people are doing terrace duplexes in Eleko also. So urbanization is another reason why it really doesn't make any more sense for developers to build bungalows, but now they're either doing multi-family apartments or multi-family townhouses, basically. And to be very frank with you, um, we all have to accept the new reality that privacy is gone in terms of housing. I get this feedback from a lot of investors that Arabi, these houses are smaller, the rooms are smaller, the fences are shorter. I don't even have my own compound. I don't even have my own privacy. The truth is, for Lagos particularly, not even Lagos, highbrow Abuja, highbrow Ibadan, highbrow Enugu, highbrow Port Harcourt, you are not going to get any privacy in your house. That's a fact. And that evolution is just starting. So we still have a couple of fully detached buildings right now in the market. By another 3 to 5 years' time, they are not going to be any fully detached in the market again, newly built. Because at that time, land scarcity will be higher. At that time, urbanization will be faster. And at that time, the land prices will even be times 3, times 5 of whatever they are doing right now. So we all have to embrace the reality that to stay in highbrow locations, Lekki 1, Ikoyi, Victoria Island, you are staying in multi-family apartments, certainly. You are going to have another family right opposite you. You are going to have another family right beside you. You are going to have another family right behind you. And probably everybody is sharing the stairways or sharing the elevator. That's the new reality. All right. So there are still a couple of housing estates in Lagos, though, that are still specifically designed for bungalows. Places like Abraham Adesoya housing estate is still bungalows, strictly bungalows there. Places like Diamond Estate in Ipaja also is also a strictly bungalows estate. Personally, just a personal preference, I won't want to invest in an estate that is planned for bungalows. Why? It's because within the next 10 years, the land itself, the value of the land, will outshine the value of the bungalow. And if the estate is strictly bungalow, it's going to put a limit to how much properties can be valued there. Because people that want to buy those properties at that time will realize that even if I buy this bungalow, I can't put it down. Or if I demolish this bungalow, the only thing I can build is a bungalow. I can't go 3 floors, I can't go 4 floors. So it's going to limit how much value you can maximize from that investment. Just a personal preference, though. Just a personal preference. All right. So if you have questions about this, if you have comments that you want to share about bungalows, family homes, the new realities, the new room sizes, the lack of privacy, the comment section is always open, so you can share your view. I'm always definitely going to respond. And if you also have preference for a bungalow, maybe for yourself, or you have someone here in Nigeria that you want to buy a bungalow for, yeah, I still have a couple of estates selling bungalows that you can still get, that you can still buy a 3-bedroom around Lagos and around the Lagos border towns also. All right, so I still remain your number one property on the planet, your property and investment property consultant, Rabi Mustafa. Thanks once again for watching our videos, and see you next time.